Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome. I know I haven't been around in a while. I do apologize. We are going to do a Stitch with Me. I'm going to chat. I'm going to tell you what's been going on this week. And also what's been going on, period, with my hand and so forth. And we're just going to, get started. So while we're, excuse me. So this is what I'm going to be working on. This is called Stained Glass Cardinals. It's from Pixels Junkie Studio. Yeah, say that 10 times fast. From Etsy. I have a lot of her charts, and I really, really like them. So, yeah, so while we're getting started, I'm stitching this on 18 count, and while we're getting situated, I will welcome any new subscribers or new people coming to check out the channel, and those returning, welcome back. And we're gonna get started. This is my new setup, so bear with me. I'm still trying to get used to this. I was using it on my bed, but yeah, it just got too much, and I don't have a stitching light back there to, you know, stitch with it. And so I just brought it out here because I just didn't want to keep unplugging my alt light and taking it back there and plugging it in and stitching and so forth. So I am going to try to get a new one for out here and put this one back there. But we'll see. I haven't gotten that far yet. But so, and this new stand I got for Christmas, and I'm still trying to get used to this thing. I just started recently using it, and it's different. I am still trying to figure it out, and it just makes it hard sometimes. And I think I need to start using my Q snaps for it because, yeah, we're having issues. But anyway, so how is everybody? What is everybody working on? I feel good now that I've finally started stitching. And like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of stitching. And I was kind of missing it. And only reason I didn't stitch a lot was because, as you all know, my last video I posted, I was bringing you all up to date. I was able to stitch a little bit, but it just, to be honest, I didn't think I was going to stitch at all, period, anymore after that. But those of you that are new that have never, I have arthritis in my hands, and I also have carpal tunnel. And anyway, it got so bad that my hand was hurting. My right hand was hurting really bad. And I was getting hurt at work, and I was like, okay. So I went to the doctor, and come to find out, it was carpal tunnel and arthritis. So, yeah. So they gave me 2 braces, one for at night and the other for during the day to wear. And lately I haven't had to wear it, which is a good thing. But then again, I've been, keeping myself kind of watching it and making sure, it doesn't flare up. And if it does, then, so I have to go for a nerve test in March, and then I will, we'll find out what's going on, if I have to, have surgery, whatever. I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that I don't, but we'll see. So, yeah, it's not been, it's been one of those things where I sit and say it sucks to get old. And because, I can't cross stitch. Um, my hand hurts all the time, especially when it's cold. And yeah, it's just not fun. So, we'll see what happens. So far, like I said, I haven't really needed a brace. And I did do a video the other night that was, one of my Stitch With Me, talking videos. And I just haven't had time to sit down and really, really, focus on a Stitch With Me, telling y'all what's been going on and all that kind of stuff, because it's been crazy. We've, I had to work a lot for the last couple of weeks because we've had snow. And, yeah, it's been, yeah, it's been fun around here. We had 3 to 8 inches, and so, yeah, so I had that one week where, I was working a lot of extra hours, and, just didn't get to do a whole lot of anything. So, yeah, it was fun, let me tell you. So, this week has just been the very first week that I have been able to actually sit here and do any kind of stitching and get caught up on all my cross stitch prompts from my groups and so forth. And it feels kind of nice that I can, sit, stitch, and do whatever. And especially today, because I'm home by myself until little dude gets home in a little while. And because Miranda and her boyfriend went on a trip, and they will be back tomorrow. So yeah, it's been quite busy. Not a whole lot is going on. I wanted to make some changes to some things, and I just haven't had time to sit down and really, really, do it. It's just been, yeah. My daughter said something to me the other day. She said, "Mom, why don't you read anymore when you're on your channel?" And I was like, well, nobody seemed to enjoy it, and I wasn't getting a whole lot of views. And then she says, well, why not do the true crime again? And I was like, no. It was just a lot. So I've just decided to do the Stitch With Me, where, there's no talking, and do, I was thinking about doing that, 1 or 2 times a week, and then do the weekly Stitch With Me chats every week and go from there. But I haven't really sat down and thought about it, because it's, like I said, it's been crazy, and I am still trying to kind of make this setup work, because honestly, yeah, I didn't know if I was gonna work. And whoops. So we're just gonna go with it, and we're just gonna, figure it out as we go. So yeah, it's been really bitter cold here, guys. Let me tell you something. Yeah, this wind, it's a little windy today, but yeah, for the last couple of days, oh my gosh, this wind has just been, yesterday I had to work. I worked all day yesterday, and this wind and the cold lowered. I'm going to tell you, it was awful. I was just like, are you serious right now? Um, yeah, it was bad. It was cold. Um, Not sure exactly what the exact temperature was, but I do know it felt colder than it was. So, and no, there was no snow. It was just wind and bitter cold. So they say it's going to change here shortly. Um, they say we're supposed to get, it's supposed to warm up a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. So I'm hoping that tomorrow it'll be a little bit better. We'll see, because I have to work and so forth. And yeah, we'll see. But, and let's see. What else has been going on? I did set up my reading challenge on Goodreads, and I have been reading. I just haven't been really getting very far. To be honest, it seems like every time I turn around, it's like, are you serious? Um, and I did catch up on some YouTube. I'm going to try to catch up on some more this afternoon. I'm hoping that once I figure this out and how to maneuver this so where I can get up and, sit down and all that kind of stuff from here, yeah, it'll be easier to deal with. But, yeah, so it's been fun, guys. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can tell you. Besides the fact that we are just we'll sit here for a minute while I think. Let's see. I will tell you, it has been an experience because it's been crazy around here. And I just forgotten how busy working, especially when snow's gonna come, how busy it gets. I mean, geez, it wasn't busy like I thought it was gonna be, but it was crazy. And I've just forgotten what that feels like. And I have never in my life seen so many people flip out. I mean, like the other day, now this is funny because the other day we were, the beginning of the week last week, was it last week or this week? Last week, we were told they had predicted that we were going to get 24 inches of snow. And little dude came out and he looked at me, he says, Mom, we're going to get, 24 inches. And I turned around and looked at him. I said, excuse you? And, he follows that stuff. He loves to follow that stuff. And so as soon as he knew about it, he let me know because I wasn't home. He texted me. But when I got home, I asked him, I said, are you serious? And he says, yeah. So we were going on the assumption that we were going to get all this snow. And then, like, I don't know, right before, the day before it was supposed to snow, they changed it. and we didn't get diddly squat. But people, as soon as, they call for snow, which is probably pretty much everywhere, people go, completely, totally bonkers. And I was just like, I just watched all these people at the grocery when I, when I was working, and I was like, oh my gosh, um, they, it amazes me that, this happens. I know when they're calling for snow, I know that I try to make sure, like if I know it's going to snow enough that the kids are, like, little dude's going to be home for a couple of days or whatever, I try to make sure, like he's got stuff to eat, um, snacks, that kind of thing. Um, Literally, people were going hog crazy. And I was just like, okay, whatever floats your boat. And it amazes me. And somebody was telling me the other day that they recently moved here. Actually, it was a customer yesterday. She recently moved here from Minnesota, and I told her, I said, can I take your place and move to Minnesota? And she was like, yeah, but you as cold as you are now, it's colder there, and we get more snow. And I'm gonna be honest, I love snow, and it kind of sucks that we live in in an area where we don't always get snow every winter. So, it's kind of nice to, be able to, like, have snow. So, yeah, I've tried to talk my kids into moving to places like, Minnesota, Michigan, somewhere, and so that we could get snow. And they just looked at me like they'd lost their minds. So, or like I'd lost my mind. So, yeah, we're kind of stuck here. But it's okay. And, yeah, so it's been fun. Oh my goodness. But other than that, I mean, the only real major issue we had was a little dude fell. He fell at school on ice. And of course, we didn't know. And I didn't know he did it until, because I was at work when he got home from school. And when I got home, my daughter told me. And Miranda's like, Mom, he's got scratches on his face. So, and he's sore. I was like, what is he sore from? So, he came out and he says, I fell. I said, you fell? I said, where'd you fall? And he said, up front of the school. There was ice that somebody, that I guess they missed or something. And, yeah, he slid and went flying. And the whole right side of his face was all scratched. And he didn't complain. And I said, did you go to the nurse? And he's like, no, it was just a scratch. His face was all scratched up. So I was like, okay, just so you're okay and nothing's broken. And he's like, no. He says, I landed I guess he kind of landed scratched. I don't know how he landed, but he hurt his face. So, yeah, I said, okay. So he's been very careful now. And I just told him, I said, well, I just don't want you getting hurt. And, I said, if you do get hurt really bad, I said, I need you to kind of make sure you go, to the nurse and so forth. And he did that the other day only because I made him. He hurt his hand in gym, and not sure what he did. So when I got home, uh, when I got home from work, I looked at him and I said, you know, he told me, about his hand. And I asked him, I said, why didn't you go to the nurse? I don't know. And then he says, oh, that was because it was at the end of the day. And I was like, and your point? And he's like, well, I had to get on the bus. Okay, fine, whatever. So I told him, I kind of lectured him, and I said, well, you need to go to the nurse first thing in the morning. I said, as soon as you get off that bus, as soon as you eat your breakfast, whatever it is you do, I said, you need to have your hand looked at. Okay, so he did, and I told him, I said, now I need to know what, happened. And he's like, okay. He was supposed to tell the nurse to call me, which never happened. He didn't call me. So I called school and I asked him, I said, what happened? And he says, it looks like he's jammed it. And, I gave him an ice pack and he should be okay. And I said, okay, I just was concerned because, the whole thing is that he did it yesterday, the day before, and he didn't go to the nurse, blah, blah, blah. And he says, yeah, he says he should be okay. He said, the swelling has gone down a little bit and he should be good. I was like, okay, that works for me. So, yeah, he's been hurting himself right and left. And I told him, I said, you got to be careful. And I told him, I said, what? I said, you have to be careful. I said, watch what you're doing. And he's like, I was trying to. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah. So he's been getting himself all worked up. So, yeah. Other than that, trying to think what else has been going on. I don't even know. Y'all. Both little dude and Miranda's birthday is coming up. Hers on the 19th and his on the 26th. And he's asked me for a computer. Yeah. We'll see. Haven't got that far yet. I told him, I said, we have to see what happens, blah, blah, blah. And he wants one. And knowing that, he also was telling me the other day that he was trying to get his worker's permit. It makes me feel old. But anyway, he's making me feel really old here. But he has a couple things that he has to do for school before he can get that. And I was like, okay, well, we'll work on that. And he's like, well, I've already completed part of it. I was like, okay. So, but yeah, he wants a computer. And so we're trying to, go from there and see what happens. I haven't really gotten that far, but we shall see. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, yeah. But, yeah, so we're just trying to figure that out. And I'm just trying to figure out, where I'm going to get him one or so forth. I mean, I might go on Marketplace and look, or Walmart, something, but we'll see. And I think that's really all he's asked me for, because he really hasn't said, what he's wanted, which is fine. So, yeah. But, yeah, so it's been, like I said, it's been kind of one of those, it's been whatever around here, because really haven't had a whole lot of time for anything. But anyway, so I'm doing all the black first, because this is stained glass, and I figured it was easier just to do all the black than go for, so we're going to do all the black, and then we will fill it in. So, I'm trying to think where I'm at. Oh, we're trying to see. This feels weird. I'm telling you, this is like weird for me. And I'm trying to, like, y'all need to see me adjust. Sorry. But it's up too high for me. There we go. I'm serious. It's up too high for me, and it's kind of like, like I said, I have to get used to this thing. This thing has just been one of those things where it's like, okay, and it was easier to try to work with it on my bed when I was watching TV or something. And then I was like, do I really, really want to, sit back there and cross stitch, all day, all night, whatever. And I'm just used to being out here. So I had to, get myself situated. And so, yeah. It's been fun, let me tell you. Trying to get this to work the way I want it to. Because I'm any new stand that I've ever gotten, it's been an enlightening experience, which is fine, which is not a big deal. But yeah, so I've just been trying to get used to this, and I think because this is blocks where my hand, if you guys can see where my finger is, if not right here is where the bar is, and I just don't want my needle to get stuck on that bar while I'm trying to pull the thread. But so I might have to switch to my Q-snaps, and that means I have to go searching, because I have no idea where my Q-snaps are. They just kind of just disappeared, but we will find them. We might have to use them, especially if I know I'm going to need this here, because yeah, it's been fun. And I do want to get a regular scroll frame to put on here and try to finagle this, because yeah, it's been fun, been interesting. Let's see what else I've been reading. I've decided to go back over and read some of the books that I didn't get to read, that I had on my TBR list for last year. And one of them was the Tom Clancy novels, the Jack Ryan series. So I started reading those over again. And then what else? What else? I'm trying to think, y'all, because I don't know what else. Where's my scissors? My scissors are missing. I have scissors and now they're missing. Oh, there they are. I found them. Um. Let's see. So, trying to think here, guys. I had a couple things I wanted to talk to you all about, and I just totally, it went out the door. It did. It went out the door. Let's see. All right, now I need to put to let's see, y'all. I don't want y'all to think I don't ever want to talk about anything, because I'm gonna be honest. It's been like just not been a whole lot going on. Because I basically come to work, I go to work, come home, and lately try to find time to stitch. This during this past month, I haven't really done that. And because I just, to be honest, I was just too flippin' tired. And I even got to a point that I was like, do I really, really want to continue? Do I want to, take the time out to do my YouTube channel? Because at the time that I was considering that, I didn't really, I was like, I was busy. And not only that, there was just a lot of things that I was trying to decide what I wanted to do. And I really didn't know. And yeah, there was a lot going on. And we were just, there's just, it seemed like every time I turn around, something was going on. And I was honestly just, again, too tired to do anything. And then it was like, then my stitching bug just went and, took a little trip. And yeah, it was one of those things. And I was just not thrilled with the whole thing. And oh well. So yeah, so that's where I've been. And I'm still trying, let me tell you. It's been I'm just trying to get situated. And all that good, lovely stuff. And I'm still trying to, like I said, like I've told you guys before, the planning process that I, was doing, I'm just now getting back into that. And because, I did have a plan for that, and that went aside too. That just kind of went bye-byes too. So lately the last couple of days, I've been trying to, sit down and make sure, stuff is put in there, like my stitches and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure. And excuse me. It's just been, yeah, it's been one of those things. And I should know better because, this time of the year can be kind of crazy, especially, when the snow comes and it's just, but usually, uh, and I think part of it is I know I don't have a lot of time like I did when I was home all the time. So it's just hard. But yeah, again, I wouldn't give up working to save my butt. So um yeah, so we're just, but I'm think I'm finally getting myself straight. We'll see. I mean, promised myself that a couple weeks ago when I did a video, and yeah, that kind of went out the window, guys. That just went totally, totally out the window, and it is what it is. So it'll be all right. Um, so, that's really it for now. Usually I try to find something. But yeah, that's it for now. We're going to stop here and I'm going to close. And I hope everybody has a great week. And I will see everybody next time. Again, the changes to the channel will be I will do Stitch With Me, no talking video, probably at the beginning of the week, and then maybe, I don't know. I have to sit down. I know I'm going to do one at the beginning of the week and probably one like 3 or 4 days later. Um, so, and then, a Stitch With Me like this once a week. Okay, so I'm going to get off of here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see you all next time. Thank you, guys. Bye.